All right, that's all she wrote. Chiefs going to the Super Bowl yet again. We've gotten very used to saying that around here. And what did we learn? What did we learn as Seahawks fans? What can we glean from that AFC title game? I think that the big thing is right now. If you're a Seahawks fan, number one, you probably hate the Chiefs, so you're not happy. But me personally, the only reason why I didn't want the Chiefs to win this year was because of the offensive offside stuff. Under normal conditions, I have no problem supporting the Chiefs. I have no problems with rooting for them to win in the right circumstance. I love Andy Reid. I like Mahomes mostly. And those two got a little out of pocket this year in a way that I didn't appreciate. So I didn't want them to win this year. But honestly, under typical circumstances, I got no problem with Kansas City winning AFC Championship games and even winning Super Bowls. But there's a little bit of there's a little bit of dissatisfaction with the way this one panned out for me personally this year. But going beyond that, going beyond the layer of just, oh man, Kansas City in the Super Bowl again, I'm so sick of it, blah, blah, blah. What did we learn in a meaningful sense from this game? Well, I think that the number one would have to be Mike Macdonald is really, really good at his job. Mike Macdonald, in a loss, did all that he could. He did all that he could. That defense, it got off to a little bit of a slow start. They gave up 17 first half points, a little bit rough. But even in that first half, they're getting off the field on a fourth and a foot in the or close to the red zone. I don't know if they were in the red zone. I think they were close to the red zone. They're able to force a field goal in a situation where it really looked like Kansas City was about to put the game away. So even in that first half, they're able to salvage some things and keep it competitive, keep it a 10-point game. And then in that second half, it was just remarkable stuff. Holding Kansas City's offense and the best quarterback in the league to 0 points. And the way he found ways to manufacture pressure on key downs down the stretch of this game, the way he found ways to actually get stuff going on Mahomes, the way he completely shut down Kansas City's rushing attack as that game went on, it was impressive. I was quite impressed with what Mike Macdonald was able to do out there, and now he's available officially. So there are two head coach openings right now. You've got Seattle, you've got Washington. Mike Macdonald's going to be a strong contender for both of those jobs now, and possibly tomorrow one of those teams will hire him. Maybe they'll just jump on it and be like, look, this guy's special, let's do it. So Mike Macdonald, even in a loss, you got to go stock up. He's playing the best quarterback and probably the best offensive coach in the entire NFL, and he completely locks it down in that second half. Does everything he can. And unfortunately, his offense, well, unfortunately for him at least, I'm not going to try to act like that's some sort of objective thing, although I know a lot of people would argue that it's objectively good when the Chiefs lose right now, but unfortunately for him, his offense just couldn't get anything going in this game. Lamar choked. Zay Flowers choked. John Harbaugh, you got to put a little bit of it on him too, because there was a lack of discipline, a lot of goofy penalties in this game, some of which were on defense. 12-man penalty was very, very bizarre. The couple of roughing the passer penalties that were just unnecessary. They had some other personal foul type penalties. So it's not all amazing, don't get me wrong. The Ravens could have still played better. But locking down to the extent that they did, keeping Kansas City to 0 points in that second half and 17 overall, masterful work in my opinion. And I know that in that first half there were some Seahawks fans on X that were starting to turn on Mike Macdonald, but I don't see it at all. I think he did what he could, and it wasn't perfect. But to a certain extent, right, we got to put it on the players too. The players need to control themselves when they're on the field. The players need to not commit personal foul penalties. There's not a ton a coach can necessarily do about that. That's just a matter of keeping your head about you, and Baltimore did a really bad job in this game of that. So Mike Macdonald, stock up. I mean, it can't get much higher than it already is, though, right? The guy's been killing it for so long now. Todd Monken, not that he's really considered a head coaching candidate right now anyway, because I think he needed the Ravens to win the Super Bowl to really get the kind of attention that he was maybe needing. So that's probably off the table now anyway. But that was not a good game by the Ravens offense, obviously. Now, Lamar, at this point, we just have to say that he doesn't perform in the playoffs because he's had one good playoff game in his career, and it was last week. So at this point, we just have to say he can't get it done when it counts until he actually does. But Monken, whatever slim chances he had of becoming an NFL head coach next year, just kind of went out the window. And I got to give it up to Steve Spagnuolo as well. I got to give it up to Steve. He called a masterful game. That Kansas City defense is incredible. I don't know how they're doing it. They don't have a ton of blue chippers. They have a lot of good players, but they haven't gotten a lot of like blue chip talent on that defense to where it makes sense that they're just able to dominate like this. This is an elite defense. And they just completely shut down the likely NFL MVP and propelled the team to the Super Bowl in a game where their offense didn't do that much. So I'm still not really on the Spagnuolo wagon because he's had a chance as an NFL head coach already, and he was atrocious, like really bad. Like I would say maybe even worse than God, what's the guy's name? Raheem Morris was when he was a head coach previously. But if he, I can't argue against it anymore, right? He's done such a good job this year. He probably deserves a second chance. I just don't really want it to be here because I don't feel like it's going to work out. But awesome job. So yeah, Mike Macdonald is now available, and don't be surprised if he gets hired very quickly here because he's been amazing this year. He's been amazing this year. He was amazing today. And if we end up with Mike Macdonald, I'm going to be very excited and very happy and very up on where I think this team is headed. Now, we still have an NFC title game that's going to start in about 10 minutes here. And I have to admit, the other aspect of this game that has me concerned is, did this choke job by the Baltimore Ravens hand the Niners an easy Super Bowl? Because we know what the Ravens would have done to that Niners offense. Like, no, forget about it. Like the Ravens are a terrible matchup for the Niners. I think the Ravens would have blown the Niners out in the Super Bowl. But this Kansas City team, I don't think the matchup problems are quite as big. And I'm wondering now. You got the Niners. They are, the only thing between them and the Super Bowl is Jared Goff on the road in an open-air stadium. So I really don't see this afternoon's game going in our favor, to be perfectly honest. And I'm worried that San Francisco just got handed an easy road to the Lombardi. So that's not fun for me, right? That's the part of this that bugs me. It's not so much the Chiefs winning. It's that I don't know if the Chiefs are going to be able to beat the Niners in a couple weeks. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Let me know what you guys think about this game, the way that it played out. I mean, it's kind of crazy that we're here right now, but the Chiefs got hot at the right time. The Chiefs started playing their best football at the right time. That's really all you can say about it, right? They've won 2 games that a lot of people would probably have picked against them in, and they did so in ways that were not typical of a typical Kansas City Chiefs Pat Mahomes team. So nothing but respect, but I'm hoping they can do it one more time at this point. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. Mike Macdonald, you want to come coach this team? I'm really excited for that. Hope it happens.